And away we go. Hello, and welcome to another edition of the College Football Mafia Network's Big 12 Mafia. Tonight on our show will be the Wild Ute, Moen, and Bomber. That is me, Nathan Bomber Brown, and welcome to the show. We appreciate everybody being with us today. We've got Media Days we're going to talk about, ACC and Big Ten. The ACC one has turned into a bit of a pantomime. We'll talk about that a little bit. And then we've got a special activity we're going to do tonight. We want everybody to be included in that. Ute, why don't you tell everybody what we're going to be doing after the news?
Yeah, we're going to do a stack ranking. We're going to do a tier ranking of Big 12 players and look at who's a real Heisman contender and who's not, actually. So we grabbed about 10 Big 12 players that are pretty hyped up preseason, and we're going to take a look at them and rank them up.
I love it. I love these activities, and we're going to be doing more of these, getting more people ready and jazzed up for the season, which is just under 40 days away, which seems crazy because the off season has been nuts. We thought the Pac-12 off season was something. This last one has been incredible. Legal twists and turns and everything else that goes with it. So thank you for joining us tonight on a Tuesday night. Make sure you follow us all on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Those are really important. We're working towards 7,000 subscribers, so help us build that up. And then lastly, consider becoming a member of the College Football Mafia Network family. Moen, how do we do that?
Sure. If you're watching on a desktop, just scroll down, and right next to the subscribe button, you'll see join. If you're on a mobile platform, you can select the little cash icon at the bottom of the chat window, and it'll let you join through there as well. You can also gift memberships, leave super chats or super stickers if you feel so generous.
And we really appreciate all the feedback we get from you. Not only the comments and suggestions, the comments after the videos, but obviously all the members and the donations that we take. We're building this up, and it's one step at a time, but we're doing a good job. And I think we're just going to continue as we go into this new college football season. All right, let's get into the news straight away. I'm going to start off with a Brett McMurphy tweet. And then and then there was a follow-up that came after it, and then we're going to discuss it. So give me a second to post that up. Actually, you know what? Let's do some shout-outs first. I changed my mind. Let's start it with the shout-outs, and we'll go to that next. Buckshot Kid, first guy in the house, says, oh, hey, at the College Football Mafia. Good to see you, Buckshot. Thank you for being here. A valuable member of the family. We appreciate it. Ryan Willie, another family member, says, hi, College Football Mafia. I'll watch later. Going to the movies. So we appreciate Ryan and all he does for us. Big Lovett says he's third, but then I think down here he says, I'm actually second because Ryan Willie went to the movies. So we're going to go with that. That's fine. We appreciate that. What do we got? We got something popped here just right in front of me. Let me get to this. Holy cow. Ricky Tungate gives to the family a gifted membership to the College Football Mafia Network. We really appreciate that, Ricky. Is it Ricky or Rickle? I want to make sure I get that right. Is it Ricky or Rickle? Let's go with Ricky.
Let's go with Ricky, yeah.
Let's go with Ricky.
Ricky,
okay.
Let's go with Ricky.
Yeah, if we get that wrong, Ricky, please let us know, okay? If it's supposed to be Rickle, I definitely want to use your real name. He's gifted actually 2 memberships, Moen. Mm-hmm. What are these all about?
He gifted memberships to Friends Call Me Sean. Sean, say thanks to Ricky. Stormy Cyclone, make sure you say thanks to Ricky. You are now members of it's Ricky. He pronounces it Ricky.
Okay, great.
You are now members of the College Football Mafia family, thanks to Ricky Tungate.
We really appreciate it, Ricky. Thank you so much. And if you do receive a membership, consider paying it forward and giving somebody else one. It's how we grow the family. It's how we keep everybody nice and happy. And at the end of the day, that karma will come back to you. I promise. I believe in karma. It's a real thing in the world today. And I really appreciate everything you guys do. Ricky, thank you so much. Huge shout out. Let's get into some more shout outs that we started with here. Stormy Cyclone says, College Football Mafia, did you guys see the huge floating duck in the White River? How cool was that? Did you see that, you?
I love that. Yeah. I mean, Oregon really reps on everything they do. Duck fans are awesome. They're wild and everything, and they just come in with a bang. So kudos to the Ducks.
Yeah, I completely agree. As a Big Ten member, was that a little poser-ish there, Moen?
It was obnoxious. It was obnoxious in my opinion. I mean, come on. Act like you've been there before, Oregon. I know you ain't, but,
okay.
you know.
So can
the only reason that duck floats is because it doesn't have any national titles to hold it down.
Can I just add to that
Ooh.
you're describing Oregon, but I think you could throw SMU in there the same way. SMU came into ACC Media Days yesterday with about the same time of bombast. We'll talk about that a little bit. But anyways, I think that's kind of funny. Thank you very much for being here, Storm. We appreciate you. Laura Weiss, obviously our Texas Tech Raider, holding down the house. Thank you very much for seeing here. Laura, we appreciate it. Daniel Gygax says, hi, everyone. Bob Swanger in the house says, good evening, everyone. I love that.
Good evening.
I love that everybody saying hi to everybody else. That's really, really cool. Clint Moses, Oregon State, Big Ten Media Days. Let's up and go. Who wants the Big Ten invite? Too damn bad.
Basically, right there.
That is absolutely true. Yes, Clint is always on it with these comments. I really appreciate him. He also says Mafia Georgia Tech drink. So
that's organic.
If you want to do participate in our drinking game, which I don't do.
Ooh, what are you drinking over there, you?
I made this batch right here.
Oh, here we go. All right.
This
So
is orange
game,
wine.
Georgia Tech or Syracuse. If you're either of those and it's organic, go ahead and take a swig. No drinking and driving. If you're driving right now, should not be drinking anyway. Let's go from there. Caleb Ramirez says, hi, guys. Did you guys catch Greg Flugar's show today? I didn't catch it. I actually had to go to the doctor today. Did you guys catch it?
I had to work. I couldn't listen to it.
I heard a little bit of the Flugar show, peek around the corner. So I heard some of the updates and everything. So
yeah, why don't you tell everybody what he's talking about? Let's get everybody up to date.
Yeah, so Greg mentioned that really Ohio State kind of controls realignment, and that Florida State is making a big push with like their research initiative that's recently come out just the last couple of days to really make a push to get into the Big Ten Conference. And so Florida State's enhancing their chances of getting in. There's no offer on the table, like we know. But if they get out of the ACC and get out of the shackles, there are going to be negotiations. There are going to be talks at least to see. And as we've talked about many times, still see Florida State go. I still see Florida State go into the Big Ten. Had them there all along and everything. I think it makes too much sense. There's too many things that point to that. Right. It's too big a value add for the Big Ten. I don't think they pass them up. So, yeah, but Greg said there's positive developments with the Big Ten and Florida State.
He's always on top of that. Moen, do you want to follow up that he mentioned Ohio State?
Yeah, a lot of this was from the Board of Trustees meeting on Monday morning. We talked about it on Sunday. I watched the whole meeting. It was basically, we're going to do everything we can to get AAU.
Okay. We're talking about Florida State. Let's set the paradigm.
Yes, we're talking about Seminoles. Okay. Research initiatives, infrastructure development, the whole 9 yards, as it were, to get into the AAU, to prove themselves as a potential Big Ten expansion candidate.
So we can say this all clear now. They got the point, right? Florida State has received the message. Everybody thought originally that this noise about Florida State going to the Big 12 was probably negotiating position. We've talked about it several times. I have them and the SEC equal. I did my breakdown on Sunday. I think I put out my latest odds, and I have them both at 30%. It all depends how quickly Florida State wants out. If they just want to rush out just to get out and have that over with, they'd need a landing spot. But other than that,
and I think that's why they didn't signal, because hey, let's stay in here for 3 years, fight our lawsuit, and then we can become
build some chips.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We have a new member. Let's get to this really quick. A new member in the house, Erica Caudle. Thank you, Erica, for joining. Do we have a sounder for Erica, sorry. Let's get a sounder up there. Thank you so much, Erica. We really appreciate it. Please make sure. Go ahead, Mom.
Thank you, Erica, for becoming a member. Make sure you watch our videos in the video vault. Feel free to use the custom emotes in chat. And stay tuned, because we do members only. We do members only streams every so often. So keep an eye out for that. I just wanted to point out Sergeant Pickles has been a member for 12 months.
Holy smokes, a year long, Pickles.
He might be the first diamond we have on the channel. He is now a diamond member, Pickles. I don't know if you noticed it or not.
Sergeant Pickles is a stud.
And a small correction here. You've got until August 2nd. All right? You're not in the Big Ten yet. You just have to come to the media days to bring your food. So
Well, listen to Ohio State still laying down the law. They don't want any question to be who's the big dog in the house, right? That's where we're at. Yeah, so we'll talk about Florida State a little bit more, but I do believe it's like message received. They went in public. They didn't break into a private thing to talk about all that stuff. They wanted the world to know we're in it to win it. We're going to invest in research. We're going to do whatever we can to get AAU. I can't think they could declare anything more specifically. Can you guys think of anything else they could have done to send that message?
No, that's just speaking to the Big Ten right there. Like, hey, we're going to prove our research. We're going to be AAU. We're going to make sure we're as attractive as possible because we want you bad, Big Ten. That's basically what that says.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's funny. A lot of people watched that and said it was a nothing burger, and to me, it was just like,
that's huge.
That was not a nothing burger. That is huge. The fact that they're bringing up the recent infrastructure too, because the infrastructure in Tallahassee and Florida State is, I think they've only got 1 or 2 runways at their airport. So if they can get the city of Tallahassee to kick in and start, developing more infrastructure to make travel easier in and out of there, that's huge.
It's about the money. Let's get in and do the things we need to. Instead of just walking into the room expecting to be the big man on campus, they're actually going to invest and do the things they need to. I think it's very smart. And anybody who didn't see them doing that, a lot of this stuff in the press the last couple of weeks, I don't think you were seeing all the way down. So anyway, we'll move along. Friends call me Sean in the house says, what's the word? The word is given. That's a Star Trek thing. Yeah.
Thunderbird.
Thunderbird. Michelle Weintraub. Hey, College Football Mafia family. Good to see you, Michelle.
Good to see you.
Daniel Guyaks again. Already put Garrett Green as your Heisman favorite. We'll get to Garrett.
He might just be on the list. Daniel, he might just be on the list.
We'll get it. Shonsky, what's up, guys? Hope you're having a great day. Stay warm. Stay cool, Shonsky. I know where you live. Stay cool. Go Knowles, says King Spleen. Hello, gentlemen. Good to see you. Let's see. Steve O. High Florida says, Bomber, ask you what the Textile Bowl is. Okay, I don't know what that is. It's an inside joke.
I just learned this today. This is a bowl game. I've got to check the DMs again who plays in this. Steve brought this up. It's like Textile Bowl to me, and I was like, what the heck are you talking about? What's the Textile Bowl?
Okay.
And so it's a ACC Big 12 type matchup.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, yeah.
Remind me what it is against Steve.
Let's see. Joaquin Morales, another member, says, hey, Bomber, Wild Ute, and Moen, and College Football Mafia family, don't forget to smash that like button. Please hit the like button, people, and smash it, as Moen says. Smash it. Jan Hulk in Slovenia, still recovering, I imagine. Jan Hulk, I hope you're doing well. He says, hey, all. Good to have you here. Let's see. We're going to scroll down more. Sergeant Pickles, we got Becky Go Huskies, contributor to the Big West Mafia show. They had a good show last night. I think I liked what they were talking about. Did you guys catch it?
I was not able to catch it. I was getting my butt kicked. So.
more college football?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on a 2-win streak now, though.
Hey.
Streak.
Because both Navy people or Army yet?
You're going to be
people didn't finish. I beat Jacksonville State and I beat Arizona State.
You're going to be tuned up by the time I get the thing. I know you're going to be walking all over me. Oh boy says, let's go boys. Good to have you here. It looks like Cincinnati Bearcat. I love that. We need more people from Cincinnati. Oh boy. Tell your friends to join us. I want to talk more Cincinnati. I think they have a huge upside in the Big 12. Vox Quindaro says Rock Chalk. Jayhawk, there we go. Skaven. Yes, says evening, gentlemen. Good to see you, Skaven. TF Williams says, go Knowles. Hey, all. I hope you heard what we were just talking about, Steve. TF Williams. We've got good things are coming out of Florida State right now, I think. Illini Ted says, good evening, all. Let's see here. Friends call me Sean, the disruptive partner getting some love.
The disruptive partners of therapy right now.
Yes, I think so. Let's see here. Laura Weiss says, will Clemson go to the SEC? So right now, I've sort of taken Clemson. I've been saying FSU Clemson, but I think I'm going to start separating them. I don't know if you guys have already. But if Clemson doesn't go to the Big Ten, I don't know that they have a place in the ACC. What do you guys think? Or sorry, SEC. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I agree with you. I just don't think there's a spot for Clemson in the SEC. And like the question, is there a spot in the Big Ten? It's it's becoming more unlikely that Clemson gets into the Big Ten Conference. Florida State still is making the moves, but Clemson culturally is probably the worst fit out of the bunch. You're looking at like the Miami, Florida State combo with Clemson. So I don't know what the plan is, but I'm not sure that the ACC has to have the Tigers by any means and everything. It might be a nice to have, but not a need to have. And if they're not going to expand, they're not going to force the issue for Clemson. So it might be a Big 12, stay in the ACC, or really try to petition to get into the Big 10 for the Tigers.
Moen, what do you think?
Yeah, I think if the SEC goes up 4, they would take Clemson.
So you have them on the list, but only if they go up to 4.
Only if they go up to 4. If they have to take North Carolina State with North Carolina.
Okay, so
then they could add Clemson and Virginia.
So yeah, let's say that again then. So you're saying the SEC would take North Carolina, Virginia, Clemson, and North Carolina State. The Wolfpack backpack drags along. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yep.
That leaves some good brands hanging out in the wind. You got Duke sitting there, Georgia Tech sitting there, Louisville sitting there. I mean, there's going to be the ACC's. Well, I think we've all said it. Once the ACC loses one school, if it's affordable to get out, it's going to be a train. It's going to be like a wreck, I think. T-Duck says Pac-4 now own the Big Ten, Moen, calling all the shots.
You're not even in the Big Ten yet.
Do you know who you're talking to, T-Duck? I'm just teasing.
Kiss the ring, buddy. Kiss the ring.
I love it.
We got
Oregon fans are going to bring it. Oregon fans are no joke, man. They are no joke.
We need more of this. Bring it with you. If you're hot and heavy and you think you're really going to be strong in the Big Ten, man, engage. Let's get you and Moen. I'll even have you on the show. I don't know. I have a lot of Ducks that have joined the show. It's been kind of rare, actually. If you want to be on the show, just put it in the comment section or follow me on Twitter and send me a message. I'd love to have you on, and you and Moen could go at it, and you and I could just watch. That would be fun. West Virginia Earl, and I'm serious about that, T-Duck. Hit us up, and we'll set it up if you want to be on the show. West Virginia Earl says, hey, everyone. Good to see you, Earl. Boy, we're down. Oh, I finally made it to the bottom. Lee Smith, another member, says, working on AAU and expanding research has been going on for years. Okay, well, we also had the relationship thing that we heard that I think that there's some merit to. Moen, how do you want to square that circle for Lee?
It has been going on for years, but this is a very public meeting where they very publicly spent pretty much the entirety of the meeting saying, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Okay. Okay.
This is what we're going to do. We're going to improve infrastructure. We're going to improve research. We're targeting AAU status within the next 2 to 3 years. They actually requested more money from the legislature to try and gain AAU status. So,
okay. I think that's a perfect breakdown. It's very well put. So Lee, this is evolving, right? Just because we're only talking about it right this second isn't because we didn't think they were doing those things. They weren't the things that people were talking about. They hadn't put action behind them. So it's good to hear that they've actually publicly stated now everybody that's a booster or a fan can contribute, give you guys money, do whatever they can to accelerate that. I think we've all said around 2026 is when we think the window is for Florida State to leave the ACC. That's 2 years. You guys finally find out how you're going to get out and then use that 2-year window to get all those things. And maybe there's an invite waiting for you. You guys want to add anything to that?
I think you nailed it. That's exactly what it is. It's all about is improving the research when you can escape for the cheaps in like a year or 2 years down the line. It might be next year. Like
it could be.
Goes by, it gets cheaper to get out. Like we don't know what's going to go on with ESPN still in February. Are they going to extend out the contract? There's so much uncertainty. Like every day that goes by, Florida State's bill gets cheaper. It seriously does. It was always going to be that way and everything. And you're not jumping out this year, but next year you might. And you have to weigh the options. So improve your research and stuff and play it by ear at that time and see what your options are.
Moen?
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think you just it's game theory. You're good. You got your game out there. Go ahead and play it.
Sounds good. Tempest in the house, another solid member of the Mafia family. Bird is the word.
Bird is the word. Cheers to that.
Surfing bird.
Rock Chalk 94, another member, longtime member, says Clemson actually could be Big 12 While FSU goes big, I am cooking up ideas and crazy schemes. Okay, Rock Shock.
That's Sawyer. You know, Sawyer, we
I
do the
know.
same thing, man. We love it. You know, that's
We
part
love
of the
you,
game
Sawyer.
here.
Everything you do.
We do.
Don't listen to the naysayers. We've got your back. You just keep doing what you're doing. Jackson Johnson says, "What's up, College Football Mafia Nation?" I like that. Nation's cool. Sam 8911 SK says it's about improving the school as much as football. The city of Tallahassee is going to put the work in. State and private see it as an investment with large upside. Well, billions of dollars.
Yeah, the infrastructure definitely needs to get better, because I know the airport there, having flown to the airport there, is a long wait time to get on the ground.
Okay.
Does the Big Ten care about the airport infrastructure? Like,
oh, sure.
Like, serious.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If you've got a national conference, you're traveling in and out, you want to get your kids in and out. You don't want them circling or getting there at 3 a.m. and then having to play a game at noon. I mean,
what do you mean? I thought that was the thing. Anyway,
you know, the Big 12 just cares about make us more money. We just need
whatever
more money,
it takes. Yep. Antoine Codes, another member, says, "Hello, y'all, listening on double speed until I catch up." That's awesome.
Right on.
I love that a lot.
Go ASU.
Let's see. Sorry, clicked the wrong one. Well, I'll read this one. Jackson Johnson says, "I wish the Big 12 and the SEC would trade Missouri and Oklahoma State with one another. This way, the Bedlam rivalry would be back in the SEC and the border war would be back in the Big 12. Yeah, that ain't happening.
Hey, Missouri, Jackson, I got to say, a couple Oklahoma State like friends and stuff asked for some analysis on the side. So I broke out some Oklahoma State to the SEC analysis here, and I modeled it up and everything. So if you're interested in that, if you think other Poke fans would be interested in that, I can make a video and stuff to see how realistic that is. Just saying.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nathan says, "Hi, guys. Good to see you, Nathan." BR, one of the OG part of the Mafia family, says, "Go Pokes." That was good timing for him to show up. And I'm going to finish with this one from Illini Ted. "Oregon will be really good and almost unbeatable at home, but I don't think they have an easy run on the road. Even against lesser teams, those long trips are no joke." Yes. Do you agree with that one, Moan?
They got the spoiler makers. They got the spoiler makers on a short week after playing Ohio State at home. That could be a trap game. That's one I got circled on my calendar.
Okay.
Is that at Purdue in Indiana?
That's at Purdue. It's a Friday night.
Yeah.
Mo, and that might be the pick of the week and stuff that we have to put some money on for the
channel. Yeah, that might be. That might be. Depends on what the spread is.
And I'm glad you guys mentioned that, because I needed to preview this, and I don't have the official. I'm going to put a presentation together so everybody sees it. But just let everybody know, we're going to be doing weekly picks. I think last year we did 8 games a week. Is that right, Moen? Did we?
Sounds right.
Okay, 8 games a week. We try to catch as many of you guys' teams as possible in those picks. But we're gonna, as a preview, we want you guys to participate in that as well. So we're gonna be doing the picks on Discord, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I know a lot of people don't have Discord between now and then. We're gonna do a training video so everybody knows how to get into that, and then it'll be really fun. It's free to sign up for Discord, and it's almost impossible for us to track those on YouTube or on Twitter. I'm just setting expectations. Let's see here. Keep chopping, says Narduzzi desperately needs Penn State back. Pitt is hurting pretty bad.
Yeah. The only way that stadium sells out if Penn State's in it.
It was, sure. Okay. All right. Let's see here. One more, and then we'll go to the news. Shonsky says, "I can guarantee Florida is not going to structure their airport for the Big Ten." And then he's laughing.
Well, that's not just for the Big Ten. If you structure your airport properly, you increase your business, your revenue, your tax base. The fact that it would benefit Florida State, again, increases the tax base. You're going to have more jobs. You're going to have more tourism there. It's a no-brainer.
All right, we're jumping into the news right now. First thing we're going to start is in the Big Ten. The Big Ten had media days. I think was it just today? Did they start, or did they start yesterday, Moen?
They started today.
Okay, so they're out today. Obviously, there's tons of quotes. We're going to run through a few of them, and then we want to engage and see what you guys think about these things. I'm going to start first with Brett McMurphy, and he's got a quote here from Tony Petitti, who's the Big Ten commissioner. on possible expansion. He says, we're focused on 18. We had to do a lot of work to add 4 schools. Crimea River. We're really comfortable where we are. I mean, seriously, that sounds so stupid.
Oh my gosh.
If they're a multi-billion-dollar entity and they're whining about integrating 4 schools, come on.
He's not whining. He's just saying we had to do a lot of. He's not going. We had to do a lot of work.
That's exactly the same thing, kind of attitude that what's his name has at the ACC. It's woe is me type crap. Anyway,
no, it isn't.
We take USC and it's been so hard to integrate.
We're just not looking forward to cashing those.
It's been easy to integrate you. The wealthiest contract in college sports history.
Moan.
Here we go. Anyway, let's finish this quote. We're really comfortable where we are. Yeah, duh. We have to get this conference right. I don't even know what that sentence means. That's where our focus is. Okay, so this is just today. All right. Now let me back up. This is a quote from last year, the exact same time, Big Ten Media Days. For reference, here, and I got this, by the way, from Becky Go Huskies. For reference, here were his comments on Media Days last year, 1 week before adding Oregon and Washington. All the direction I'm getting from leadership, our presidents and chancellors, and our athletic directors is to focus on USC and UCLA. This is before, obviously, Washington and Oregon. We have a lot of work to do there. I'm proud of the scheduling format we created in football. Again, hello, AI. How hard is that? I think it touches on all the right things. Okay. First of all, what do you guys think about these quotes? Both of them. And second of all, is there a red herring in here where we're just missing that he's really just saying exactly what he means? What do you guys think? Obviously, you and I are in the same boat when we look at this stuff. Moen's a little different. What are your first thoughts when you see these quotes?
This is commissioner speak. Like, really, this is like a certain type of narrative a commissioner needs to kind of spin and everything to get himself and the conference out of any type of legal trouble, possibly. So it makes plenty of sense why he'd be saying this and everything. But if you believe this, that's the problem, because there's no chance this is really reality. Oh, we're too busy integrating. I mean, they're basically doing all the analysis in every freaking school, probably in the A4, to break it all out and do all the research there. So yeah, they need to say this because it's the right thing to say and it keeps you out of legal trouble. And again, it's commissioner speak, but that's just not really the reality. They're going to look at the best opportunities, make investments that come along and everything. And integration is just going to be part of that.
Okay. What do you think, Moen?
Well, I think last year is, they're saying, this happened 1 week before Oregon and Washington. That's because Oregon and Washington were going to sign a deal with Apple, and Oregon was also working a back-end deal with the Big 12. So, it was Michigan and Wisconsin that were pushing this. And until they gave in and let Ohio State have the next pick on expansion, they weren't going to add Oregon or Washington. It wasn't going to happen. So I think that's different, And Oregon and Washington, by the way, were getting out of their media deal this year.
Yeah, it ended.
It ended. So it's not like, the grant of rights ends effectively almost a week from today, 10 days from today.
Yeah.
So a big difference between that and Florida State and Clemson and the ACC teams available.
And you said it perfectly. It's the context really that matters, right? Last year was completely different in this regard, in this one thing. Last year was different because Washington and Oregon weren't tied to a gore. They weren't tied to anything. Right. And so them coming in was just really choice on the Big Ten side. Now, a year later, I would like to, and this is what I'd like to engage with the people watching. I want to do a couple of other shout outs here too. But going off of this, this seems more realistic to me. This original quote seems more realistic, not because I still think it's foolish and kind of, like you said, you coach speak or commissioner speak. But I really believe that they're at a point now where they don't want to rush into having a partner. They got Notre Dame still hanging out there. They don't know what UNC is going to do. And I still think there's interest in Florida State. So this really could be laying the groundwork for the next year or two. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think your nails. I think that nothing's going to happen. Florida State's not going to escape for the next year, right? I mean, they're playing the conference this year.
Right.
So, or more, right? Like, and so this is true. This is probably going to shake out the way it's said. But like the fact that like it's just about the integration and stuff, and there's no interest in expansion and everything, I don't necessarily believe that's the case. I think you always have to consider your options when they become available. But it's not necessarily a lie. It's just commissioner speak.
Okay. You want to add any more to that, Moen?
No.
Okay. I did post the link to the Twitter feed, so you guys can look at that yourself. Just scroll back up in the comment section, and that link is there. And let's do a few more shout outs to people that just showed up. Earl Carr's back in the house. Good to see you, Earl. He's an OG member as well. He says, "Sup, Bomber," and then he says, "Hey, Wild Ute." And then Earl down here. Oh, he missed Moen. Did he get Moen too?
Thanks, Earl.
Okay. All right. Very good. I just want to make sure they covered him. And then he has a question. Hey, Bomber, are you staying up to see if we get the games? He's talking about the Olympics in Utah. No, I'm not.
Didn't you guys already have one like 10 years ago?
20 years ago. It was 22 years ago.
Earl,
it's a big deal.
Today? Salt Lake gets it?
That's what it was in the news. But I thought they were going to tell us that like months ago, and it didn't come out. So to answer your question, Earl, I'm not going to stay up. I don't think Moen is. Ute, are you going to stand up or stay up late and see if Utah gets the Olympics?
Probably not. Well, I might stay up late, but definitely not going to be watching that. I'll pay attention to it tomorrow. Check it out, though, everybody. So Utah has like a state holiday tomorrow. It's Pioneer Day, so most people are off work and everything. So it's kind of cool out here and everything. Pioneer Days with Mormon pioneers came in Salt Lake and started this great state of Utah. So there you go.
And it is great, and quit moving here. Okay. Jared Jones, haven't seen him for a minute either. Another great member, OG in the house, says, "What up, my dudes? Great to see you, Jared." All right, this next article, I'm going to bring this up. Let me take this off. Jared, it's great to see you. This is an article. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's just the headline I wanted everybody to see, and wanted to see if Ute and Moen had heard this. Let me get that off there. Stuart Mandel reports an interesting potential wrinkle in the future of the CFP. The Rose Bowl is asked not to be included in the semifinal rotation, preferring to host January 1st quarterfinal every year. So they don't want to be part of a rotation. What do you guys think about that?
Give Rose Bowl what they want. The Rose Bowl is the mecca of college football.
I agree with
Rose
that.
Bowl is seriously going to a game at the Rose Bowl is so special. It's make it on the 1st of January and just do what they want to make sure that's part of the rotation and everything. So if they want to be a semifinal game or quarterfinal game, it doesn't matter. Just give them what they want. It should be the national championship every year, ideally in the first. It's just that freaking good. It's just the best experience. I've been to a lot of different venues around college football, and that was the most special experience ever, going to a Rose Bowl game.
Jared Jones agrees with you. Moen, you're a Big Ten guy. You got to love the Big Ten. I mean, the Rose Bowl.
The Rose Bowl. Yeah, I think the Rose Bowl staying is the January 1st. There's so much with the Rose Bowl, the Parade of Roses, everything on January 1st. Leave it on January 1st. I just want to touch base on what Ute said. Very special to be at the Rose Bowl. It's even more special to win one.
Yeah.
Moen is on one tonight. That was a very painful loss for Ohio State.
And by the way,
I did not pay him to say that.
Wild Ute gifted me a bottle of whiskey this week, and that's what I did to him right there. I just burned it.
All right. I don't think Syracuse.
You know what I remember at the Rose Bowl? I remember when the Utes started trailing in that game and stuff. There was this young Ohio State fan that said, "F you, Utah." That was the lasting memory and everything. So
that's an Ohio State fan. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jimmy Otson. I'm not sure I've seen you before, Jimmy. If you have, and I just don't remember, please forgive me. My memory is horrible. We're glad you're here. Rose Bowl is still awesome. That's what he says, Jimmy. Everybody agrees with you. I grew up in Pac-10 land, and yeah, the Rose Bowl is nowadays. I don't watch any bowl games anymore. The only ones I watch are the playoff games, unless BYU's playing. Right? I don't care about the others. The Rose Bowl itself is appointment viewing and has been my entire life. I don't think I've missed one unless I was like ill or something like that. I cannot remember a Rose Bowl I've ever missed. So
What's the
I
second
can't
most
either.
prestigious bowl game, though? Like, Rose Bowl's clearly number one. It's not even close.
I like the orange and the Fiesta, personally.
I always
And
like the Sugar Bowl.
the
Is kinda
Sugar
cool, I
is
thought.
another one. Yeah.
It used to be the Cotton Bowl. The Cotton Bowl used to be king.
Well, it's because Texas was in it every year.
Texas was in it most every year.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate your comment, Jimmy. It's great to see you. King Spleen says, at College Football Mafia, were you aware that Monday or so was the deadline for the ACC to provide FSU the unredacted media agreement? You know, I knew that, King Spleen. I completely forgot about it. I apologize. That could be why Jim Phillips came out with fire and brimstone. I don't have a page for it. I don't have a link. Can we just talk about the ACC media days for like 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Ah,
Absolutely.
2 minutes.
Jimmy.
Let's keep it down. I don't have my timer. I don't have our timer working yet, but
okay.
ACC media days, it's remarkable. And they're only talking about one. The one of two premier brands in your entire conference, and you talk about them like they punch you in the face, and they treat them like garbage. All the quotes, everything that was backhanded slaps at Florida State. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that from an organization eating itself alive. The Pac-12 kind of did that, but they weren't going against each other. I guess there were a couple times where somebody was attacking Utah or somebody was attacking Arizona State. But other than that, you didn't hear stuff like this. The Pac-10 Media Day certainly didn't do that. What do you guys think about the way Phillips has acted?
Like, I feel like he kind of has to have this fire and brimstone approach because he's just been so in the background and so soft and everything. So it's a different tone, which is needed. But like, it's just way too late. Like, where was he over the last 6 months? Where was he when FSU wasn't getting into the playoff? Right.
That's
like, way
my
too
point
late.
all along.
Do it last year. Like, remember
Right.
last year when they were on Amelia Island and everything, and there was like
Yes.
the Magnificent Seven? Like, that was a time to step up and fire and brimstone, but it's just way too late. Saying that your most important brand, Florida State's the most important brand in the conference. Like, UNC might be like the jewel in realignment. Florida State's a big money driver on the media contract. It really is. And like, you saying that they're a disruptive partner and basically ripping them, it just makes no sense. Like, it's not beneficial. It's just, I don't agree with the language spoke, but I agree with like the gusto, I guess. It's better than just like sitting back and not really saying anything, kind of like the Pac-12 did with
Right.
George K and everything. So it's a tough spot though for Phillips.
What do you think, Moen?
Yeah, you brings up a great point. Where was he? Where was he when Florida State got left out of the playoffs? Where was he when his three top brands, UNC, Florida State, and Clemson, and even North Carolina State at one point said, do not add Stanford, Cal, and SMU. And he said, well, I'm going to defer to a partial member in Notre Dame because they want this to happen. So we're deferring to Notre Dame. A partial member, by the way. They didn't agree to become a full member, but we'll defer to him then. He wasn't standing up then. He wasn't standing up to ESPN when he realized what a piss poor media deal he had locked them into. It's amazing now he wants to stand up and be a tough guy, but you know, he's a fake tough guy. He's like Joe Pesci.
So let me give you a contrast really quick. Brett Yormark comes out and he's all about growing the conference, right? We're gonna do whatever we need to make it better. That could be money, that could be opportunities, it could be, all kinds of things. Brett Yormark's only talking about growth. This guy and George Kliavkoff, all they could talk about is things that are wrong. These are supposed to be your jewel events. Your football preview media days. That's it. That's your introduction to the world. And he spent the entire day yesterday. I saw so many quotes. I was just thinking about bringing them up. I'm not going to take the time to do it. It pisses me off that he's willing to do that to one of his members just because he needs this survival instinct. I think the attitude is crazy different.
It's a total cluster. Like, it really is. Like, you got SMU celebrating and like rolling on the floor and doing all this crazy stuff. And FSU's like, I don't want to be here. Get me out. I'm suing you guys to get out. Clemson's doing the same. Like, it's just a complete cluster. It's a dumpster fire. Like, it's going to break. The dam will break. Maybe it's not this month. And like, all the ACC fans, were taking a victory lap. Like, they just won the Super Bowl or something, right? because you kept Florida State in the conference for a few more months. That dam's going to break and stuff. So seriously, don't be calling out receipts yet on this thing, because your mark's coming. And hey, Moan, do you mind doing a poll?
Yeah, I wanted to get a poll out. Yep.
I wanted to see a poll. Okay, so I realize this is Big 12 Mafia show, so we've got a lot of Big 12 folks, not too many ACC folks watching. But try to do this unbiased if you can. Ask who really is the Premier 3 conference now. Is it the ACC or the Big 12? Try to answer it unbiased, please. I want to see what people think. So the ACC has more attractive realignment brands at the moment, but does the instability of the suits going on in the conference make the Big 12 a stronger in the third conference in the bronze spot? Because that's the big narrative argument. Is it your mark? He's saying that. Phillips is saying something different. Who's right?
I love it. I love it. And so you said it. I wasn't going to bring it up unless somebody talked about them. But SMU, right? They're rightfully excited to be in, and being in a conference is great, right? BYU just got promoted with Houston, Cincinnati, UCF, and that's a big deal. I think it's totally okay to go out and be happy and cheerful. But were they celebrating being in the conference, or were they celebrating SMU? Because all I saw was SMU everywhere, and I didn't see anybody from the conference saying, "Yay, we have SMU." And I can compare and contrast those things, because last year BYU was on the other side, right? But they were welcomed in by the Big 12, open arms, all 4 schools. The ACC is I can't even figure out what they're doing. Was Stanford and Cal even there?
Right?
I just can't figure it out.
They were
there.
there.
Expensive plane ticket.
Stanford was there today. Stanford was there. You didn't see much of, they had only $15 million to spend, so they couldn't buy all the streamers and strippers and
it took me a second to catch up to what you were saying. Okay, I got it. All right, Moen, this is for you. Let's talk about the 5 stages of grief. And we looked these up, everybody. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. At what stage is Jim Phillips? That's a question. I was going to make it a poll, but we already have a poll. So
it's obviously anger at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't think it's denial?
No, I think it's anger.
Okay, so now he's accepted that it's happening to him.
I think he's in the anger. He's in the anger stage.
Okay.
Then he'll be in the bargaining stage where he gets him a release settlement. Then he'll be depressed, and when all the schools leave, then he will accept it.
Okay, all right.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny, Mo. He nailed it. There's nothing else needs to be said about that.
Laura Wise says, I choose Big 12 because we have a strong commissioner, an elite basketball brand, strong top to bottom in football, and premier fan bases. Oh, and we aren't suing the conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really what it comes down to. The ACC is loaded with Clemson and Florida State. There's no question about that. But the conference is coming apart, it seems. So how can you give that any value? It's suing it. It's eating itself alive.
And you want some proof of that too? Remember when the ACC was trying to take a swing and the smoke was around Utah? Let's talk with Utah jumping over the ACC. Utah wasn't going to do that. That kind of just tells you, it gives you a little evidence of where is the stability. Where do you want to be right now?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Kaylani, I always try to get that right. Another member says Stanford and Cal don't present and talk until tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw their players on Instagram today doing
the
3 players who came.
I guess my point is the conference should have been celebrating getting these 3 schools in. That's my point. Instead, it was all attack dog, vim and vigor, all this energy they haven't put into the conference in probably 2 years.
To be fair, they did do a celebration at the beginning of the month for all 3 of them.
Oh, okay. I'm comparing it to what the Big 12 did last year with the 4 new schools. It was much different. Anyway, good to see you, Kelani.
What's their poll say on that? Who's the third conference?
Big 12's winning it pretty handily, 69 to 31.
I like that number.
31.
We like that a lot. All right. Well, And I don't want, we can wait for that to run out and talk about it later. But anyways, that's pretty much the news. There's some other stuff that I could have brought up, but we've gone 45 minutes already. I don't even know where the time went. I kind of apologize. We don't want to normally take that much time. There's just been a lot of stuff in the news, and I know you guys care about it. So I want to make sure we spent the time to do that. I'm going to turn the time over to Ute for an activity.
An activity here. All right, let's talk about the Big 12, and let's talk about players that are going to be in Heisman, our possible Heisman discussions, contentions, right? So what you're going to see right here is a tier maker, okay? And we're going to look at really who in the Big 12 is a legit Heisman contender and who in the Big 12, as far as the big names and stuff, is not. So let's go through this exercise. I want to get Moan's thoughts. I want to get Bomber's thoughts. We're going to ask everybody out there in the community too to kind of throw a tier maker on some of these players. There's decent representation. Not every single team in the Big 12 is represented here, but there's a lot. Okay. So here we go. Let's get into this. Okay. So the first player in our West Virginia folks are going to be happy about this too. There's been a lot of talk in the preseason about the quarterback for West Virginia. Had a good season last year. He's expected to have a big-time season this year, and that is Mr. Garrett Green. So yep. Garrett Green right here. So we need to determine if the S tier, this is like a legitimate Heisman contender for Garrett Green, okay, or is he going to be tiered down, and D's basically no, not even close to being a Heisman contender. Where do you guys think that Garrett Green ends up at the end of the season?
Moen?
Listen. I love West Virginia, but he's got to be B. It's going to be very, very hard for anybody in the Big 12, I think, to win the Heisman. Same thing with the ACC. So I think you're going to have your premier names up there, and I don't think Garrett Green is just one. He's just not – there's not enough focus on him. Now, maybe if he got a DUI charge and his coach gave him no punishment.
Moen. Kicking a man while he's down.
Very good. So I can agree with the B tier. What do you think, Bomber? Are you in support of the B tier for Garrett Green?
So let me ask you a question because I want to make sure we're clarifying. Are you saying of the Big 12, these players, where do they qualify? Or is these players against the rest of the country? You see
these players against the rest of the country. So okay. S tier means like they've got a real shot at winning the Heisman.
Yeah, then I say I agree. Shot. It's B.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Okay, so we're all on B. So we think he's a stud player and stuff, but probably in that B tier for as far as a Heisman goes. Now let's look at somebody that's name brand here. This is Shedeur Sanders, guys. Shedeur Sanders. Obviously, Colorado's going to be on TV a bunch this year. They were on last year. Where does Shedeur Sanders fall? And, in the best case scenario, Colorado wins a bunch of games and everything. Is he going to be in the Heisman discussion?
He's B. He's at the top.
Oh, you think he's S tier?
I do. You know why? No. Hang on. Let me explain it.
You can explain it, and then I'll explain why he's not.
The reason he is because they've got all the world watching him. And I think that he could even have just some flubs and still win the award because of who he is, because who his dad is, and if Colorado wins games. If Colorado goes 10-2, now I'm not saying they are, but if Colorado goes 10-2, he's absolutely in the Heisman running.
Man, okay. I'm with Bomber on this.
Let me tell you, and then you can decide. Okay. Bomber is completely right. The world is watching. And you know who the world is watching on Colorado? Travis Hunter. They are going to split votes.
Right.
I don't see Shedeur. I think they split votes. I think Shedeur Sanders is A. I think Travis Hunter is S.
I think they both are.
Travis Hunter on this list too. We're getting to Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Man, this one's a tough one, Moen. Can we get a breaker for the community? You might throw a poll out, and we'll come back to Shedeur. Is he S tier or A tier? Thank you, Mo. Just to break us on this one. Okay, so we're now looking at a player that you might not have heard about, but is a stud player in the Big 12 Conference. He's a stud running back, and that's Taj Brooks from Texas Tech.
Yeah,
Taj Brooks from Texas Tech.
I saw him last year. I saw him last year at BYU. He's an excellent runner.
Excellent runner.
Yeah.
He's going to have a big-time season. Is Texas Tech going to be in the public eye enough, and is he in a position, he's not quarterback.
Right.
At a running back, is he going to be able to get some love to make a Heisman-type consideration run? That's the question.
What does Moen think?
Probably C.
I'm thinking C tier too.
He's good. I don't think he's Heisman Trophy talented.
So you're like in the C or D tier?
Yeah, I'm okay with either one of those.
Yeah. Let's keep him in C tier for now. Okay, let's move on. Another quarterback that's got a lot of buzz coming into the preseason here, and that's KU quarterback Jalen Daniels.
Yes.
Jalen Daniels. So Jalen's history, he is an absolute playmaker, but he has injury-prone history. So is he going to string it together? And if he does string it together, is he going to, and KU makes a big run, is he going to be in Heisman consideration?
Moen, what do you think?
I got him as an A.
Yeah, I also have him as an A. He's got some buzz, but he has to stay healthy. So
Absolutely, 100%. So, all right, now we're getting back to Travis Hunter. So we've got the two Colorado boys, and Moen made a great point that the two Colorado players might get split votes here.
maybe.
To me, he's an S automatically. He plays both sides of the ball.
Again, he needs to stay healthy.
He needs to stay healthy, but
Yeah.
he plays both sides of the ball.
Right.
And remember, the Heisman Trophy is for the best overall player in college football. And this guy plays both sides of the ball at a high level. So I've got him S tier.
Yeah, he's at the top for me.
Yeah, and he almost got votes last year. He might have got some votes last year.
Yeah, I think both the Colorado guys should be on the top.
Oh, I can't put them both in S tier.
The poll is overwhelming that people think Shador is A tier.
Okay, A tier.
Okay.
Is.
All right.
Shador is an A tier, and Hunter is an S tier. There we go. All right.
Okay.
There we go. We got a 1 S tier player, and that is Hunter right now. Travis Hunter, the convertible player here, one of the best players in the nation, a wide receiver and cornerback. Probably going to be one of the top picks in the NFL drafted cornerback, too. I'm sure he's going to be a top 5-7 pick. You'd think, even though he's a little undersized. But
sorry, I missed the name. Who did you say?
I was just giving some, explanation about Travis Hunter.
So he's in the first round for sure.
All right, so here's my boy Cam Rising. I'm going to let you guys rate this because you know that I'll put him in the S tier. So
B.
What?
Yeah,
I'm saying B. He's got injury.
B tier.
He's got injury issues.
Yeah.
I don't know how Utah's going to play in the Big 12. He's been off for so long. He's got that rust on him. I'm putting him B. I think it's going to take 3 to 4 games for him to shake that off.
I just think there's too much stuff going against him. He might, does he get a vote even? Would anybody vote for him? Again, we're qualifying. None of these teams have played a game this year. If Utah goes 12-0, I guarantee you he'll be up
That's
there.
A great story,
A or S, right? But now, right now, today, I would have to. I think B as well. It's not against Cam, though. It's not against Cam. His injury history and all that stuff.
I get it. So the one thing is, like, we're giving a lot of these players the benefit of the doubt and kind of projecting best case scenarios.
Right.
And Cam, are we doing that with Cam, or it's the realistic scenario?
Why don't you ask the people? Make that a poll.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. I mean, just to confirm, maybe it's truly B tier. I've got real bias here and everything. That's why I wanted to get you guys' thoughts. Maybe community feels the same way. We'll put Rising down again in the pin, and we'll put them up to wherever the audience thinks. Okay, so throw it into A or B tier right there on the poll if you wouldn't mind.
I'll even give him an S tier option. If somebody thinks he deserves to be S tier,
I don't. No way he's S.
I don't think he's S tier.
Put him in S.
In A or B.
It's A or B.
Okay, let's move on then. So we've got Rising poll out there, and now we're looking at Noah Fafita. Noah Fafita, the stud quarterback from Arizona. Arizona didn't get a lot of coverage last year, despite being a very good squad.
Yep.
Are they going to get the coverage this year that he needs to make a Heisman run if he has a huge season?
There's some buzz around him. My vote would be A.
I agree. I think he's a solid A.
Yeah.
Okay. Put him up there. So Fafita is an A. All right. Now we got our boy, Ollie Gordon.
Yeah.
Despite the DUI, I think he's still S tier, guys.
Yeah,
He's
I
S
agree.
tier, yeah.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt.
He's
But with
probably
the
the best player in the Big 12, right? There.
With the caveat that, you know, those character issues show up. And if he's a perfect student, doesn't do anything wrong the rest of the season, he can win even with the DUI thing. But he if he even has one hiccup, misses a class, you know, does anything in the news negative, they'll drop him out.
Yep.
That's what I think.
Yep. All right, so looking at like a lot of the top 20 lists for offensive position groups, Brant Keithy for Utah tight end coming off injury. Over here, he is considered the best tight end of the Big 12, one of the best in the nation, either one or two on those lists. So Brant Keithy, where does he fall, guys?
D.
Okay.
Because he's a tight end. I just don't see a tight end winning Heisman.
He is a fantastic athlete.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful athlete.
He'll be a high draft pick, but tight
Yeah.
ends don't win Heisman trophies.
Makes sense. Okay, we'll keep him in D tier. And then the next player right here, a lot of Big 12 folks probably aren't too aware of. This is RJ Harvey from UCF. He is a stud running back. He's expected to have a big season for UCF. UCF's got some games, like premier games and everything, where he's going to get some coverage and everything. He's a playmaker, guys. So where do you think RJ Harvey from UCF is? What tier?
Well, Replica, who's been a member for 6 months, says he's a sneaky Heisman candidate.
I like it.
And I haven't seen enough of him to really say. So I would say probably B tier. You didn't put the quarterback from UCF on there, KJ Jefferson.
I didn't throw KJ. No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think KJ's a Heisman guy.
Okay. I think he'll have a big year.
I think he could have. He could have a fantastic year, and if he's 12-0, he'll be in the Heisman race, right? We just can't predict. I think UCF's a 8-4 plus or minus team, so probably 7 actually. But
Yeah,
anyway.
I've got RJ Harvey as a B or a C.
Okay.
I'm a C on Harvey, just because I want to see it too. Like, I know that he's got some hype and everything. He's high on lists, but I want to see it on the field, so we'll throw him in C tier with Brooks.
I haven't seen him play, so I'm deferring to you guys.
All right, here's some. So we're still with Rising. Is Rising a? Is he an A?
He's
or
a
B?
B.
Okay.
61 to 32.
What was? Oh, 61. So it was pretty overwhelming.
Somebody did vote S tier. So that's
I did. I didn't have time to vote. I would have thrown S tier in there. So, but like, hey, you know what? Community rules, and B tier Rising is. Last two players are kind of fun ones. The player to the right is T-Mac. That's McMillan. I have a hard time saying his first name, guys, I'll be honest. So T-Mac from Arizona, wide receiver, best wide receiver in the Big 12, probably the country too. Where do you think McMillan? Where is he falling?
Moen?
I would put him at probably B. Just because he's a wide receiver.
I'm going to defer to Moen. I don't know.
He has to have like a Marvin Harrison Jr. type season to even be in consideration.
You have to return punts. You have to be an all-over athlete, not just catching balls.
All right, yeah, B tier is good with me. T-Mac falls in B tier because he's receiver. Fafita is going to get the love if they have a huge season. We've got Fafita in A tier. Makes perfect sense. This last one, to me, is maybe the most intriguing because Avery Johnson has all the freaking hype in the world. K-State Nation is loving this kid. He is an absolute playmaker, quick. He can throw. He's got arm talent. Like, this guy is oozing with talent. K-State's going to score points this year. They've got Giddens. They've got Edwards coming over from Colorado. So I think that they're going to light up the scoreboard. So where does Avery Johnson fall in this list?
A.
I was going to say, what's his age? Is he a sophomore?
He might be a freshman still because he only played in the bowl game, I believe. So
if he's a, I can't put him in A if he's a freshman.
I don't know. He played last year in the bowl game and maybe one other game, but with the rules and everything where you can play in a game or two and still hold maybe a red shirt. I forgot his eligibility, but he does have a lot of hype nationally.
He does.
Year,
he does.
Right?
He does. I
think that A tier might make sense. Bomb, can you get on that? Supportive on the A tier?
Sure. Yeah, it sounds
all right.
fine.
There we go. That is it. That is the Big 12 Heisman tier maker right there. And the S tier, we've got 2 players and 2 players only. And that is Ollie Gordon, of course. Then also we have Travis Hunter. And then in the A tier, we've got Avery Johnson, Noah Fafita, Shador Sanders, and Jalen Daniels. In the B tier, we've got T-Mac, Cam Rising, and Garrett Green.
Mm-hmm.
Then in the C tier, we've got R.J. Harvey and Taj Brooks. And last in the D tier, we've got tight end Brant Keithley. There it is, guys. There it is.
Now, who's the most likely? Who do you guys think is the most likely to actually get a call to go to New York?
One of these guys I would put on top.
Yeah, I still think Shador. I think he may be an S, but anyway.
I think that Shador and Avery Johnson could be S. Like I think both of them. Those are
like
tweeners,
likely. Right? They're tweeners. They're in the middle a little bit between A and S.
Yeah, exactly. But I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Avery Johnson, if K-State goes off and K-State makes a big run, I mean, he could get some big time hype. Like I could see it. And with Colorado, obviously, if Colorado wins a bunch of games, I mean, Shador is going to be there. But yeah, is it going to be both of them? Is it going to be Hunter and Sanders? That's a tough one.
Well, who has the TV show? Who has a dad that is an icon?
Right.
So I honestly think that Travis Hunter is going to get hurt again. In today's football, being a two-way player, his health, I really question if he's going to make it through the whole season playing every game.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I'm going to shut this list down, guys.
Okay. All right. Very good. So how did we do? Let's get to some comments, and you guys can tell us how you went with that. I guess we don't have the list to show them, so hopefully everybody can remember our qualifications there. Let's get to some comments. Let's see. Tempest, one of our members, says, it's raining where I am, Josie. Well, that's good. Rain is good. Keep Chopping says, can't sleep on Garrett Green. I think you did a pretty good job explaining him. I mean, would you add anything to that, Mullen?
No, I think Garrett Green's got a good shot. I mean, especially if he can show out against Penn State to start the season. I mean, that would be a huge, that would at least put the spotlight on him. But a lot of these guys in the Big 12 are going to suffer for not having the spotlight on them, I think.
Yeah, they're going to have to, yes. Yeah.
Ollie Gordon's going to get the spotlight. Shador Sanders, Travis Hunter, those guys are going to get the spotlight.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for guys like the R.J. Harvey at UCF, the kid from Texas Tech, they're just not going to get nearly as much shine.
Yeah, I completely agree. Vox Quindaro or Kindaro, KU QB Jalen Daniels, if healthy throughout, his ceiling is unlimited. I agree with that.
100%.
But just like Cam, and maybe Travis Hunter, the risk that they get hurt is very high. They're what's the word I'm looking for?
Injury prone.
Yeah, injury history is kind of against them. So, but we all like Jalen Daniels. There's no doubt about it. Timothy Green, one of our West Virginia reps, we have a bunch of those, is a member saying, if West Virginia goes undefeated, you would have to consider Garrett Green, in my opinion. If any team goes undefeated, they're going to definitely be considered.
Usually they've got at least one Heisman contender on them.
Yeah, they might not get the invite, but they probably go out on the ballot. That would be my guess. A lot of people are saying Hunter. Shiloh Sanders is a baller too.
Shiloh.
He's
not bad.
Didn't he file for bankruptcy?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. No. Okay. Fongwei Reldman. Rising needs to be at least A, getting a lot of hype.
What in the world is that picture? What the freak?
I don't know. I don't ask questions, okay? Let's see here. Stormy Cyclone says Johnson not proven, A tier at best. So, I don't know.
Where we put him.
He's getting a lot of press. I know that. Let's see. Clint Moses says it must be the hair. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Maybe it's you, Moen.
No, he's talking about Cam Rising, I'm sure.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, we're going to drop into Q&A, everybody. Let me get the band rep. Before we do that, let's do a quick refresh. Make sure you're following us all on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you know we're putting tweets out all the time about members only shows and whatnot. And then lastly, subscribe to the channel and get into those Wild Ute University Moen Rants videos. Why don't you describe what they're going to get, and I'll bring that up on the screen.
What you're going to get is Florida State and the SEC throwing Florida State in the SEC model, and that is freaking wild. I'm telling you guys, like, it's so good. I can't, it's so good. It's just, when should we unveil it? That's the question. The analysis is done. Just got to put together these, like, the slides and make it pretty and everything, but it's all done. Know the result. I know where they shake out, and you guys need to know too. Can't wait to share it. Can't wait to put it up. We think that we're just going to do a members only, maybe a live stream. Parlay it off a show, probably, and just end the show early and do a live stream and everything for all of our members.
That's what we talked about. Did we settle on that then? I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the next one up. Florida State, SEC.
Right now we have in the case already our Jayhawks SEC caliber, the sit down, the really Big Ten. That was a fantastic members video, so that was members only, and I had a ton of fun. Did you guys like doing that?
I enjoyed it.
I guess it was just you and me, right, Mo?
It was just you and me.
Yeah. Okay. Wild Ute University breaking down the Big Ten viewership share. Moen Rants, Notre Dame drives the bus. I mean, these are all timeline as a what if, looking back in history. We have a couple of Coos Corner videos on here. He did a wonderful job. Anyways, you become a member. That's what you have access to. And I guarantee you, unless you're talking to somebody that is one of our followers on, excuse me, on Twitter or anywhere else on social media, you'll be the smartest guy in that conversation. If you've seen these videos, I guarantee you'll be ahead of the game at the water cooler. So I just wanted to make sure we showed that, and everybody had a chance to understand what we give for membership. It's a really big deal for us. All right, let me get to some. We're going to start Q&A. Let me bring up that banner really quick. If you want to be part of the show, make sure you guys follow us all on Twitter. You can leave your comments after the show is over, or actively leave comments now. Member comments get preferred, and at the very top, we always read all super chats. I apologize. My medicine's kicking a little bit. I got the stutter, so I'm sorry about that. Anyway, so let's start right now with our comments. We're just going to read them back. If you want your comment to be read, make sure you flag it for us. If you use my name, I tend to read those too. And just enjoy the show. That's where we're at. Clint Moses says, being the QB that turns around that Kansas program deserves a Heisman. Kansas is America's sweetheart. Is that right?
It's true. Since they beat Texas, I love them.
Okay. All right. You agree with that? Yeah,
I think so. I think that KU has a spotlight on him this year, and I think that Daniels, if he has a big year, he's going to get a lot of hype.
Very good. Fongwei Reldman says game versus Penn State will be a make or break. That's basically the whole season. That Penn State game.
Penn State game's everything for the Big 12 perception-wise. We've talked about that before. It's so massive. I mean, it's so big. Got to get that one. Like, have to have it, Big 12. West Virginia, you got to finish this. It's in Morgantown. Get it done.
Agreed. Moen, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, Morgantown, party time.
It is. I wish it was a night game. I really wish it was night.
Is it not a night game?
I think Moen said it was a day game.
Yeah, I think it's a big noon kickoff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's too bad.
No, you know what? I think it was a big noon kickoff because Fox has the rights to that game.
We would love to have that at night. That game, playing West Virginia is already difficult in that house. Doing it at night is very, very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of respect for their stadium and their fans. Joey Z says, good evening, Mafia family. On vacation in Florida. Let's do a Mafia drink. Georgia Tech and Syracuse. We'll drop
Cheers.
that in. Everybody take a swig. Our drinking game. You hear Syracuse or you hear, what's that other one? Georgia Tech. Then you're going to get whatever you need for your alcohol tips. So we read those. Take a swig. Oh, my gosh. Look at this. We got another super chat from Vox Quindaro. Holy cow, Vox. $100 super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Wow.
Vox.
I'm humbled. I appreciate your trust in us. The Jayhawks are America's team. Rock, you can say that word if you want to, Moen.
I'll say it because Bomber is, not allowed to say that. The Jayhawks are America's team. Rock fucking chalk.
Wow, Vox, that is awesome. We really appreciate your trust and all the member stuff we got, the member subscriptions, all the super chats. That's why we're here.
Let's give him some sounders here.
Let's go. I'm leaving it up there.
Oh!
All right.
I am the milkman. My milk is delicious.
That was legitness. Yeah, it was. Huh?
Thank you so much, Vox.
Thank you, Vox.
Really appreciate it.
Awesome.
So that was awesome. That was absolutely awesome. Joey Z, I already did that. Let's see. Let's go right here. Jeff Watson, another member, says Big 12 clearly added the mid-4 from the pack. ACC added 2 of the bottom 4 schools. That is clear. Ute?
Ooh, I disagree with that. I mean, Utah was winning the conference. I mean, 2 out of the last 3 years. So I wouldn't consider the mid-4 of the pack. If you're talking about ratings, then yeah, that makes sense because Utah was the highest out of all 4 of those schools that brought over. But as far as football value, Utah was one of the elites of the pack over the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, and let's be honest, you guys added Colorado, which was a ratings juggernaut last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
That's not the same. Look, I mean, that's not the same as adding SMU and Cal. No. Cal was the worst ratings team in the Pac-12, and the ACC added them, and SMU doesn't even yield 100,000 viewers per game. It's not the same.
75,000 they averaged last year.
And like in Stanford is out of their heyday. Andrew Luck's way out of there, right? Like it's been years and years since they've been good. They can't sell out their stadium. Look, I like the tree. I like the Stanford, and everything. So I'm not trying to dig on them too much, but like just know that like it's not equivalent here. The ACC got a much worse deal than the Big 12 got with that one.
All right. Thank you, Jeff, for being here. We appreciate it. College Football Plus, another, he's a subscriber, he's a member, and he's also been a contributor with some of the graphics we've had over the last year. It depends on how well CU does. If they can win 8 games with a few key wins, the media won't stop talking about Shedeur, Travis Hunter, or Dion. If they go 8-4, I will be stunned.
If they go 8-4, I think Hunter probably wins the Heisman Trophy.
You think Hunter over Shedeur? Man, I'm just not there.
He plays both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
it's the best overall player in college football.
He is for the time he's on the field. Yes. I agree with you. Yeah, it's just the risk of injury is extremely high.
Sure. But that could happen to anybody.
That's true. At any time, right? And we won't ask anybody to get hurt. That's not what we're doing here. Anyway, thank you very much, College Football Plus. Good to see you. Replica, member for 6 months, and this is his special comment. Sneaky Big 12 Heisman candidate, R.J. Harvey, UCF, running back.
Got it. Yep, absolutely.
You called that out, so you did it. Thank you so much for your membership, Replica. It's been great to have you around. Let's see here. Rascal, sorry. At Tony, Jalen Milroe from Bama was sacked 44 times.
Ooh, Milroe was sacked that many times last year.
That's rough.
Yeah, and half of them were in the game against Michigan.
Your
boys, Moan.
That's funny. By the way, Ute and Moan, keep flagging good comments, right? I'm working for the ones that were already in there. All right, great. Let's see here. Based Jiren says, even with FSU and Clemson, the ACC clears. Miami, Louisville, UNC, NC State, all clear. Ute?
I think that I'm trying to understand context. I think that you're saying like clear to go, like to move conferences.
No, he's just
like that they're better than the Big 12 without FSU and Clemson.
Yes.
No, that's not true because really looking at viewership, the ACC and the Big 12 right now are basically dead even with Florida State and Clemson. In-house, Florida State and Clemson bring a huge swath of the viewership, like approximately 30 to 35% of the viewership. We've broken this out before. So losing the top 2 brands and everything, it's not the same. There's the eyeballs aren't there in the ACC land and everything. You lose your top 2 brands. It's just not.
I would say that shout out that Florida State did, in their board of trustees saying, we're going to invest in this, we're going to invest in this. The ACC has no leadership, no direction. The Big 12, not 2 months ago at a meeting of the board of trustees in Arizona, guess what? Brett Yormark showed up and says, we're a football conference. All of our schools are going to invest in football, and this is what we're doing. That brings eyeballs, that brings respect. And I think that's what Ute is sort of leaning on, right? So I agree with him. I'm not.
I mean, they're great brands and
that.
everything. And the Big 12 is
Yeah.
going to be looking at all these brands. UNC will never come over and everything. The fact is, it's viewership. For the Big 12, viewership is everything because that results in more media money. And that's what the Big 12 needs. That's how you get more relevance, exposure. And those schools outside of Louisville and Miami just don't really drive it in the football world. Louisville and Miami are like the 3 and 4. So those are good brands and everything, but UNC doesn't really move the needle. NC State doesn't move the needle as far as football viewership. UNC does for basketball viewership. That's a different conversation, though.
Tony Lawson has back-to-back comments here. Good to see you, Tony, by the way. We've missed you. ACC will have this tied up in court for years. And to follow that up, he says SMU had nothing to lose. Everybody knows my opinion about SMU. What they did and made it work, hurrah for you, right? I don't say they shouldn't have done what they did. I'm saying the ACC, the door never should have been open. So I just want to, every time I bring up SMU, that's my thoughts. Great for them, like Tony's saying, had nothing to lose. You're exactly right.
SMU made a great move, guys. Like, that was a freaking brilliant move from SMU's standpoint. They're getting heat and everything, rightfully so. But like anybody that saw those numbers and the growth of that college, university and stuff after this move to the ACC, it was a no-brainer move to do it. Like, it's from a business decision, it was 100% all in, do it.
So one thing we've avoided doing is the analysis Big 12 ACC, right? All in one presentation. It's the one thing we've been sitting on waiting for an opportunity. I'm just curious if that's something maybe we should look into before the season starts, or should we wait on that still?
What do you mean as far as the eyeballs go?
No. All the stats. You've got the stats for ACC, all the stats for the Big 12 viewership, all the numbers, putting them all in one presentation, side by side.
Yeah, we could do that.
Well, is it something you want to do too? And is it something we want to wait on for a while?
Here's the craziest thing of all, okay? This is wild. ACC, it beats Big 12 bad as far as like Directors Cup. Like, I mean, they win a lot of sports. And like Big 12 just doesn't compete at a lot of the different non-football levels that the ACC does. The ACC has elite academic schools. Like, the ACC is the Pac-12, guys. The Pac-12 had the same kind of stuff. But then at the end of the day, it don't matter because no one watches your football games. That does come into factor. That factors more than any Director Cup championship in volleyball. Like, that's the thing. And like with academics and stuff, that's great. And if you're the Big 10, you care about it a lot and everything. But the Big 12 could care freaking less about academics. It's all about eyeballs and media drivers. That's what's driving all this. If Florida State was happy in the ACC, then they would never try to sue them to get out. It's just about the money. And that's the problem with the ACC. The eyeballs aren't there in football. They just aren't.
Moen?
Yeah, that's the ACC is a dying conference. I mean, it was a moment Florida State and Clemson took litigation against them. So I completely understand where you're coming from, but until those brands leave, I still think you give the edge to the ACC. And once those brands leave, you're absolutely right. But I think until they leave, the edge is going to go to the ACC.
The weird thing is, like, perception-wise, they've lost that narrative completely. Perception-wise, like, they might continue winning volleyball championships or whatever, swimming championships, but like nobody is paying attention to that. It's all about the narrative and perception battle, and the Big 12 is slamming them.
I understand that, but I think at the end of the season, who gets more playoff teams in, the ACC or the Big 12?
I think they both get one.
Now it's different.
Really?
I believe you before, but I think
the ACC gets more in. I just do. I think if Miami has a good season, if Clemson bounces back, if Florida State's still Florida State, there's a possibility the ACC can get 3 teams in.
So let's just qualify this. What we're talking about here is the existing ACC,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Until they leave, they are the ACC. They're in the ACC.
But I would, to Ute's point, they're diminished. They're suing each other. They've
They're
got
weakened.
all these problems. If you're
They're
an
weakened.
investor, if you were an investor, would you come in and buy into the ACC, or would you buy into the Big 12?
Well, it depends if I'm going to shorter it or if I'm going to long it. If I'm going to long it, I'm going Big 12. But if I'm going to short, I'm buying ACC stuff.
All right, that's fair. That's a fair way to put it. All right, let's see here. Earl Carr, great to see you, Earl. By the way, I love that helmet. Penn State versus West Virginia kicks off at 10 a.m. on Fox. It says on ESPN.
Yeah, noon kickoff, big noon kickoff.
That's too bad. That's a missed opportunity, I think. Let's see here. Me versus Echo Chambers says clown. Not sure who he's talking to, but that one got flagged.
I'll drink for that clown, though.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
It's great to see you anyway. King Spleen says Phillips should have said there's a disagreement between the conference and schools. Thank you. How hard is that? King Spleen should have been running that for him, and it's being addressed in courts. Then using unifying words to speak about the schools. That's it. That's how you run a business. You guys want to add anything to that?
No.
Okay. Kay Hilani says Jim Phillips wasn't commissioner when the ACC signed their last media deal with the ESPN. I'm not sure.
No, but he signed the extension.
He did sign the extension. That's true. Clint Moses says, Bomber, that's me. Better start watching your conference bowl games. Boost those TV numbers. Yeah, hey, strictly speaking, you're right, Clint. That's true.
It's true.
Let's see here. Antoine Coe is another member. These are all member comments, by the way. How cool is that, guys? I'm just catching up. I doubt FSU is getting AAU in 2 years. That does not mean their research is not improved. Stanford has a lot of friends in the AAU, and FSU needs an invite.
You're right, but you got to remember, if the Big Ten really wants into Florida State, they've got 17 votes in the AAU as well. So those are pretty powerful friends to have.
You want to add anything to that?
Yeah, it's a good point. If the Big Ten wants it, they're going to move the needle on that. Like, how the heck is Notre Dame, right? They just got AAU status. How the heck is Notre Dame in the AAU? Notre Dame doesn't do any research.
Yeah.
They got rewarded for the same thing BYU got punished. I'm not saying BYU was trying to get in the AAU, but they're both religious institutions, and they run the exact same mechanics on the backside. They're not. They may have a hospital, but the rest of the research is still way down. So I just
right, but keep in mind, AAU
is
a club, and there are certain things like you can have outstanding academics and be considered AAU with no research.
BYU's academics are better than most.
Just ask Oregon.
Oregon
does it with no research.
I know, but again, we know why that is. Right?
Yeah, AAU is a confusing thing. It really doesn't make a lot of sense at the end of the day.
Yeah, we're not going to get into it's a vicious cycle we don't want to get into tonight. RT, another member, says, "Hey Nathan, at Nathan, good to see you here, RT. I think you were talking to a different Nathan, so I won't claim that. King Spleen again, you say what you mean until you no longer mean it. Talking about Petiti, I believe.
It is what it is, and it be what it be.
Okay. We were talking earlier about the Textile Bowl.
Yeah, there it is.
North Carolina State. Nice trophy.
I hope that's a Big 12 game one day. I really do.
That would be fantastic. I think
Textile Bowl. Bring it in-house.
Becky Go Husky says Rose Bowl is asked to be quarterfinal game every year. Yeah, we talked about it, Becky. Thank you very much for sending me that article. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. We'll jump to the bottom to some newer ones. College Football Plus says now there's a decent amount of 12 schools that are AAU. Yeah, they all came from the Pac-12. That's true.
Well, KU is, Utah is, and ASU.
Yeah.
In Colorado. Well, it's Colorado. Colorado is, I think.
So you tripled your number.
Colorado's AAU. You added 4 AAU.
You quintupled your AAU status. I have no patience or tolerance for AAU. Shonsky says, Moen in the Big Ten. I can't wait for the Big 12 to get more teams in the CFP than the Big Ten. Mark my word. Boy, Shonsky, that's dreaming big.
Run it down.
That's
Yeah. I'm glad to take that bet. I don't know what you want to bet on, but I'll be glad if you want to come on the show and say the Big Ten's better when the Big Ten gets more teams in.
Hey, look.
I'll gladly take that bet.
We are on a 5-year climb. It is possible in 5 years that could happen, Moen.
Yeah, but let's list the Big 12 competitors versus the Big 10 competitors. I mean,
Today, I think it's not as good as it might be in 5 years. That's my point. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, College Football Plus. Another comment. 12 has some huge non-con games this year. CU, Nebraska. Yep. West Virginia, PSU. Yep. UCF plays Florida. That's a good one. Let's see here. Tech plays Washington State. Not so much on that one. And then ASU, Mississippi State. That could be a good game if ASU shows up. And Houston plays Oklahoma. I didn't know that, by the way. I didn't know they played Oklahoma.
So the top three that you list out of the big three, like the West Virginia, Penn State one, that's going to be big noon. Everybody talked about that. CU, Nebraska, like I feel like the Big 12 could kind of get a break because of the whole Dion stuff, the bad season that CU had. If Nebraska wins that game, it just feels like this West Virginia game is like the one to get respect because Penn State is so damn good. They're so hard to beat.
Yep.
And like Florida's going to be kind of a dumpster fire this year with Napier.
Right. That's what I was just going to say, that UCF has to be the favorite in that game.
Florida sucks.
Gosh, we got to check the line.
I cannot believe Florida is as bad as they are. I just.
Oh yeah.
I'm shocked. They've let it get to that level. Tempest says Bomber first upset will be North Dakota State versus Colorado.
It's very likely.
Play them.
North Dakota State's a good team.
They are. They're a great team. They're a championship team. I don't know why Colorado signed up for him. Dion was not happy about that, by the way. Steve High Florida says the Heisman hasn't been the best player in college football since Charles Woodson. I think there's something to that. I think politics plays a lot.
I agree. When Orlando Pace didn't win it, it was not about the best overall college football player that year. Orlando Pace was one of the best offensive linemen in the history of college football.
Yes, he was. Yep. Let's see here. Jackson Johnson, did you guys watch Pat Narduzzi today when he talked? Oh, we already did that. Oh, no. Sorry, let me finish. Pat Narduzzi today, where he talked about how he would like to see Penn State rivalry come back. I didn't catch that. Did you guys catch that?
I didn't see that, no.
Well, no, of course he wants the Penn State rivalry to come back because he needs to get people in the stands.
Yes.
If you can't get your own fans in the stands, have Penn State show up at Heinz Field or whatever it's called
That's
now.
Right.
You get a sellout.
Heinz Field? Yeah, Heinz Field.
I don't think it's called Heinz Field anymore, though. I think they changed it.
Wow.
That name was kind of stupid. Becky Go Huskies, contributor and a member, says old Big Ten is old and busted. West Coast 4 the new hotness.
Ooh.
There you go, Moen.
Look at that.
I'm hearing strong language. I don't have a sounder to counter him, Becky. I'm sorry.
I'm willing to take on any of the 4 West Coast teams this year. Bring them.
Right.
You will be.
I would play all. We don't play all of them. Though. We only play Oregon.
You better not lose to Oregon.
I think we play UCLA too. I think we play UCLA also.
UCLA is like a bye week.
Right.
Yeah,
that
UCLA is. It's not the same. Oregon's tough.
Hey, Becky, I think you and Pickles get together and bet Moen something on your show. I'd love to see that. As long as I'm not making the bet, I'm doing good.
As long as it's not Bombers money, he doesn't care.
That's exactly right. Tempest says Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State will own Oregon. Moen? Oregon's really good, guys.
Oregon's really good, and they get
Really
Ohio
good.
State at home.
Yeah.
The Michigan game at Michigan will be tough, but I think they can win it. And I think they can beat Penn State because Penn State has James Franklin.
Okay. You want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think Oregon's going to be a thorn in the side of those 3 right there.
They're recruiting and everything. It is just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let's see here. Oh, Coy, we haven't seen you, brother. Good to see you. Coy's an OG member, and I celebrate that because he's been a member for 6 months. Coy, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. You're active in the comments. You participate. You do super chats. You're a member. You watch all the members only videos and participate. Near the top of all the people that have subscribers. We really appreciate it. Or members. Sorry, not subscribers. Thoughts on Feinbaum putting Prime as USC coach? Let me say mine first. I think if Napier doesn't win at least, I want to say 9, but 8 games, I think he goes to Florida. Out of nowhere, Feinbaum says USC. I think USC is a possibility, though. What do you guys think?
No. I don't see USC getting rid of Lincoln Riley. He's made a Heisman Trophy winner there. Granted, he's been saddled with Alex Grinch for the last few seasons, but
that was on his watch.
That was on his watch. That was on his watch. But Alex Grinch has been in a lot of programs. He's got a lot of naked pictures of people.
Oh my gosh!
So now that Grinch is gone, if they just show any kind of semblance of defense this year, they should be decent.
I would agree with that. What do you think about that?
I'm not sure if Feinbaum really watches any football outside the SEC. Like saying something this bombastic, like how does that make any sense at all?
Yeah,
like Prime,
I don't know.
He doesn't even recruit. He gets transfers, right? Like this makes no sense. And like, go ahead, Mom.
He says he gets people to say Paul Feinbaum. That's
there
why
you go.
Stupid shit like this.
There you go.
Like that. He's got the worst ideas outside the SEC ever. Like this guy knows nothing outside the SEC.
Wow. And I was going to invite him on the show. You guys were hard.
Oh, he's not coming on.
Let's see. He's not coming on. I like that. Let's see a new member, Erica Cottle. Thank you so much, Erica. Do you think Miami is Big Ten bound? I'll ask Moen first, then you.
I think.
Let's put a time horizon on it. Can I put a time on it?
Time horizon. I think if Notre Dame and Stanford join the Big Ten and they decide to go to 22, I could see them taking an AAU, Florida State, and a Miami. And that would be, you'd get both schools in Florida.
Okay.
I agree. 100% agree. I think Miami gets into the Big Ten. I think Florida State gets into the Big Ten. I could see Stanford and Notre Dame getting the Big Ten. I still think that Clemson has not shot a shot at getting into the Big Ten.
I haven't put it at 0. I agree with that.
But I think that Miami and Florida State are going to be the priorities to get in the South. And I think Miami's going to be part of that. Yeah.
My opinion is, depending on what Notre Dame does, the time horizon I never finished. In 6 years, I think Miami will be in the Big Ten. That's where I don't think the Big Ten goes past 20 for a while. I could be wrong. Stormy Cyclone says Moen duck hunting doesn't start till fall. I'm sure Ohio State will have both barrels loaded.
Ooh.
Double barrels.
Yeah, I've never duck hunted before, but maybe I'll start.
It's fun.
Maybe a college in Oregon will make me start shooting mallards.
There's a big blow up balloon over there in like the Indianapolis River.
There we go.
You can go duck hunting.
By the way, we're going to do our last call. We're going to go another 20 minutes. So if you want your comment to be read, keep leaving them. But the ones I've already got flagged, we'll probably work through those. So it'll have to be a super chat at this point forward because I'm going to end in about 20 minutes. Just final call so everybody knows what's going on. I don't want anybody upset they didn't get their comment read. Let's see here. King Spleen says Monday or so was the deadline for the ACC. Oh, wait, sorry. So I don't think we ever got an answer on that. Did King Spleen ever tell us if they actually received that?
I haven't heard about it. They didn't mention it in their board of trustees meeting.
I didn't see any notes on it. Anyway, King Spleen, in the comment section, we'll watch for a reply from you. I'd like to know whether they actually received them or not, because that's something I did not track down today. I apologize. Friends call me Sean. I think FSU administration knew all along. It's the fans that want gratification like most Americans. It's a good point. They didn't communicate with their people well, though. They have big boosters that are pissed off.
They might, but like think about like brand awareness. Florida State's already a big brand. We've been talking about Florida State for 6 months.
Yes.
They are like the talk of the college football world and the college sports world. So, hey, like you're that even negative attention is branding. So they're scoring out of this deal.
Moen, you want to add anything to that?
I think the FSU administration probably didn't know all along. I think they thought if they could get out quick, they could get in quick. I
believe that.
I think
believe
they've
that.
come to the realization that's not the case.
Yeah.
And that's why we've seen the renewed vigor towards AAU membership and infrastructure and all this stuff they talked about.
All of my percentages of where FSU are going, just we circle the wagon.
They go.
I always believed that if FSU could have gotten out in January, February, maybe they thought ACC would just let them go. I don't know why they would think that. I do believe there were people in the administration at Florida State that thought the Big Ten, maybe a nod and a wink, if you can get out, we'll take it. I believe that. I don't have any proof of that or anything. It seemed too prepared. Rage, lawsuit, Big Ten. That's what you heard from FSU people. So anyway, I want to cover this Nightbot really quick. Moen, tell everybody what we're doing with this Fanatic stuff.
Yeah, we've got our own shopper at Fanatics. If you just click on that link, you need some new football gear, you get a 10% off discount. So you get ready to get the new alternate jerseys, get one of Oregon's new 15 jerseys for this season. Go ahead and jump on there, Oregon fans. Go through that link. It helps us out. It'll help you out.
Okay, look, Rockstar has joined the chat, okay? Jen Knoll, one of my friends, I've got to know her, and we talk things like Vanderpump and Bravo shows, is in the house. I think she had a show earlier, so I appreciate you joining us, Jen. FSU makes folks crazy, and I'm here for it. I love that attitude.
That's exactly what it is.
That attitude. Absolutely true. Yeah. Jen, I hope everything's going well. Moen, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, Jen does drive people crazy. I agree. You do that, Jen.
I tell you what, once you get to know her, you can understand why. She's a rock star. Her comment, or sorry, she's a member, and then she left us a $2 super chat. So thank you so much for being here, Jen. We really
Cheers, Jen.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
And we miss you. We need to get you back on the show. I know Florida State guys have been doing their own shows for probably about a month on purpose, hoping for a move that hasn't happened quite yet. So I'll get you back on the books. Love to have you back on. Anyways, Jen Knoll, find her on Twitter, Rockstar. Let's see here. Oh, she had another comment I missed. At Daniel Gygax, Lane would crawl over broken glass to get back to Florida school. Would have gone to FSU had Bama taken Norvell.
She must be talking about Kiffin, Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
I think
I agree.
Kiffin is destined for one of
Well,
those.
it depends on the Florida school. I mean, like if it's FAU, he's not going back for FAU.
No.
But yeah, if it's Florida State, Miami, he would take it in a heartbeat.
I
Man,
think
that'd be dangerous.
Lane Kiffin is a very good coach, and he can recruit and raise money.
You can raise money. Nailed it. You bet he can.
Absolutely. So thanks again, Jen. Love seeing you. Let's see here. Daniel Gygax says, how is UC Santa Barbara and AAU? No medical school or research on the campus. Oh, it's where they know the right people. It's a club.
No, it's not. It's because all the University of California schools are under a system. It's not one school. So all the schools in the UC system are AAU.
It's a club.
It's a club, but that's what I'm saying. That's why they're all AAU. It's just like they're all land grant programs too, even though the only real land grant one is Berkeley.
Thanks for clearing that up, Moen. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Stormy Cyclone Moen to wear duck hat if OSU loses to them.
I got to buy a new duck hat. I lost my Donald Duck hat from when I was a kid. You would think with the 75 hats I have around here, I could find that one, but.
What I would recommend, Stormy, is before the game, come on the show or send him a DM and remind him that he said he'd wear a duck. Because I heard that. Didn't you hear that?
I did.
I did.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure we're not missing anything there. I cannot believe how many comments we've had, guys.
How in the world is Penn State AAU? Penn State? I'm shocked. I mean,
Penn State? Why are you shocked about Penn State? They have a medical school there.
Penn State's academic profile isn't anything elite, so.
Okay.
Wow, Penn State fans, that's you taking a shot, not me.
Let's see here. King's Plain, the media agreement is sealed legal document to the attorneys only, and FSU can't talk about it. Judge Cooper gave the deadline. I assume the ACC honored it. Well, we didn't see any countersuits today or whatever, so we'll hope they got it, King's Plain. We've been wanting that to be to Florida State since they asked for it. We no bigger advocates for Florida State to be better than the ACC than the three guys on this screen.
I just
want what anybody else says about us.
I just want to put something out there. Penn State's research expenditures last year were $1.2 billion.
That's not bad.
Holy smokes!
Yeah.
Never mind, Penn State fans. So take it back.
Good number.
You was wrong.
Tempest says at Bomber, Florida State University FSU has received an unredacted copy of the 6 documents in the agreements with cable sports channel ESPN as part of the legal battle. Thank you, Tempest. Thank you so much. We need to flag that. I tell you what, Tempest, if you have the link to that, I'd love to see it, because that's something that we need to bring in our next show. That's awesome. I hope they can use it. By the way, to compare Clemson and Florida State, Clemson only asked for the ESPN ACC agreement. Florida State asked for 6 different agreements. So there is a difference between the information Clemson got and Florida State got, which a lot of people don't. Everybody said Clemson did a good job by getting the thing early, and that may be true. But Florida State has waited, and now they're getting 6 times the data. So thanks for the update, Keith Spleen. I really
can't wait till it's leaked. That's going to be the best day ever when it's leaked.
I can't wait. Just like when Florida State, how did we find out about the ACC agreement and the look-in thing? That was leaked by FSU, right? Isn't that how it?
Yeah,
made
their
it to
court
the world?
document.
Okay.
Their court document.
In their filing. Okay, now I'm remembering.
In the filing, yeah, that was juicy.
Yeah, we can't wait. We want that again. Stormy Cyclone, Moen, do you know by chance the number of AAU schools in Canada?
Well, there's none. It's the American Association of American Universities, so I would imagine there's none.
I guess there's none, Stormy. I don't know.
There's 2 guys.
Are there 2?
Moen doesn't know everything.
There's a school called McGill.
Oh,
it's AAU, and there's another school too. 2 Canadian schools and 69 American schools.
I know McGill.
You know McGill?
You know
really?
McGill.
No. Lee says the SEC doesn't even like Paul. Lane Kiffin got over Paul the other day. Did you guys see that?
No.
I didn't see it either. Becky, go Huskies. I keep hearing the triple option in the video game is basically a cheat code, Bomber. I know. I cannot wait. That's the veer offense, and I'm doing wishbone, baby. I'm gonna go all running.
Well, they patched
to turn into Nebraska.
I'll save you some trouble. They patched it to make the triple option a lot harder. So
doggone it. That's what I was gonna do, Becky. Thanks for ruining my day, bringing it up and telling me, and then Moen broke it. Gosh, Moen.
Wait, Moen, so the triple option, so the video game, the triple option is impossible to stop? So if you're Air Force, you're unbeatable? Navy, you're unbeatable?
If you're Navy, it's hard to stop. You basically have to stack the box and get everybody.
Well, I hope you do that versus a triple option attack. You got to stack the box.
Do they let you, is the veer offense in there, Moen?
Veer offense is in.
Oh, yes. That's my favorite. I'm giddy now. I can't wait. I got to get the game. Look, August. I'm shooting for August to get the game in the system. All right. Let's see. Feinbaum says Sanders will get bored with CU, not prime enough. I just think that he wants to be in the NFL, and the way to get there is through college. And I think Florida is the next school. But
kind of have a different take. I think Dion's
Yeah, please.
checked out a little bit. I mean, I'm not sure really if his heart's in the game anymore. His boys are getting out now. Shiloh, I don't know if he's going to be an NFL player. Store will. Like, we'll see where his future is and everything. I'm just not sure his heart's there anymore. And like in USC, that is not what they need for a program. There's a bunch of transfer guys with no depth and stuff. The USC is going to get pounded in the Big Ten with that type of approach.
The Nightbot, this is the other one I want to point everybody to. Join our Discord server and interact with the other College Football Mafia members and fans 24/7. That's going to be big as we go into the season. Like I said, all our picks are going to be on Discord. So people that have avoided it up to now, for us to grow and bring more people in, we have to do stuff on Discord. So go to that link, sign up. It's free. And we'll look for you to be in there. I promise. Jason Spangler's in the house saying Arizona and Kansas are the two highest revenue generating schools in the Big 12. Must be all about football.
I'm not sure about that, Spangler. Let's see. You guys speak to that. I got to check.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
If it is the case, I mean, it's due to basketball.
Well, that's his point.
Right. But I mean,
that's his point. All right. Well, we're waiting on that. Let me get to a few more. I'll come back to that comment. Jen, no. Again, Dion has no interest in it after the kids leave for real. And that is the point with Colorado. I'm not sure he's done coaching. His health might not allow it. That's possible. But I think he's done it. I think this is the last year he's at Colorado. Sorry, Colorado fans. That's my opinion. Once his kids are gone, I think he's gone. Do you want to add anything to that?
No.
Okay. Sorry, wrong one. I'll get to that one in a second. Daniel Gorby. Good to see you, Daniel. I think Dion will retire after this year. Bingo. Could definitely do that. Laura Wise says Joey coached one of the Sanders kids in high school. Sanders had great things to say about Joey. He loved Kalani Stataki too. Absolutely loved Kalani. Jason Spangler says USA Today rankings.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's the reference.
Yeah.
Let's see here. All right. So do you want me to come back to that? Are you there yet, or you want me to keep going?
No, I mean, like I'm just taking a look. See. So
okay, well, take your time. I've got more. Daniel Gygax, one of our members, says not all schools in the UC system are AAU. Santa Cruz and Merced are not. The other 7 campuses are, and Irvine and Riverside were just added.
Well, there you go. Moen was wrong, but they are all land-grant universities.
That does not happen very often. So
yeah, it's a UC system. It's weird the way it's set up. It's a school system, not one single university, but all the universities are considered land grant.
Jason Spangler follows up saying Arizona and Kansas are the. Oh wait, I already did that one. Sorry.
So actually, Texas Tech is the number 1 from last year on operating revenues for athletic department, and then Arizona, and then it goes Colorado, Utah, then KU, Arizona State.
Do you have the reference for that? We can post it in the comments.
Yeah, that's Sportico. That's the report.
Can you just copy and paste it and put it in the chat?
Yep. Hey, that's a good point on Arizona. They're second. That's a little surprising, honestly. So
I certainly didn't know that. We haven't really talked about those valuations for a while. I think we'll come back to that at the end of the season because it's the last season without the last season not in the new contract. Or let's ask. Is the Big 12 new contract active now, or is it next year?
Next year.
Okay, so this year it's still going to be the whatever flat it was before. Okay, all right.
The new contract kicks in this football season, so it's going to show on the financial statements after.
Oh, so it is this season.
Yeah, the new money starts getting paid soon.
Okay, yeah. Awesome.
My understanding.
Can't wait for that. Laura Weiss says, little old Texas Tech.
But Texas Tech makes money.
Yeah.
Those guys make money.
If only earning money is the goal, right? Big Lubbock says Texas Tech revenue last year per Lubbock Avalanche Journal made $147 million last year.
Got to say to that, big hat, big cattle right there. So big hat, big cattle for Texas Tech.
Jason Spangler, my numbers might be from a year or two ago, but the point still stands.
100%.
Appreciate it, Jason. Thank you very much. Mr. Monkey says FSU's fans are salty. Okay. It is. Let's talk about this really quick. Jen says Arizona is broke. So they make the second most money in the conference, and yet they're what, $250 million in the hole, right?
Right. Yeah, they just cannot balance the books down there.
It's unreal.
Too many expenses.
That is really unreal. Moen, do you want to add anything? You've been reading. Is there anything
No,
else you want?
no. I mean, if she wants to say they're broke, I mean, there's broke, and then there's broke. I mean, come on.
I mean, Arizona's broke. Like, as
Yeah.
broke as it gets.
But they're also a state agency. They could come in
Right.
and help them at any time.
As long as they've got the government to fund
Right.
them, they'll be fine.
Stormy Spike-
so
sorry. Go ahead.
subsidies, you're talking about subsidies, right? Like,
Yeah.
support from like the state, like you're mentioning. Arizona's number one in the Pac-12 over Cal, $48 million in subsidies last year to support the
That's
program.
just crazy. Let's see. Stormy Cyclone says, Google it. U of Toronto and McGill, RIAU in Canada. Yep, we've
Yep.
mentioned it.
Doesn't
got
make any sense why it's the
Doesn't-
Association of
doesn't-
American Universities and we've got two Canadians in there.
Right.
I think somebody pretended they were American and snuck in.
Laura Wise says oil money. So Texas Tech oil money. That's
Heck
true.
yeah.
Oil fields, West Texas. Shonsky says, let's see here. I think I grabbed the wrong one, but that's okay. I actually believe with NIL basketball is going to gain momentum. Fans get attached to players and follow them, and players are going to stay longer because of NIL. Mark my word, your Mark is a genius. I have no problem with featuring basketball, but they want to be a football conference. That's where the respect is out in the world. Right? Do I have that right, guys?
Yeah, absolutely. The Big 12's focus needs to be on football. You excel in basketball. That's not going anywhere, but you got to look at football for real growth and competition with the Power 2. Basketball ain't going to do it to get us there. It's a nice to have, but it's not a need to have. Football drives the bus. Until that changes, it needs to be the focus for the conference.
Okay. Let's see here. I wanted to get a shout out here for Timothy Green. I guess Daniel, which we didn't know, Daniel Gayex, on your daughter graduating college. I missed that, Daniel. So congratulations to you and your family. It's a wonderful achievement. Absolutely. Go ahead, Moen.
Yeah, that's the comment he's referring to. That's
I know.
loud.
Yeah.
Didn't say it wasn't weird. My daughter's degree from UC Santa Barbara only says University of California without a given.
Weird.
Yeah, it's because I think UCLA is the same way. It's a system. It's California at its finest, people. I don't know. I gave up.
All right, guys. I think I've worked through most of our comments. I think we've had a wonderful night. Let's see. So, Tim, she has one more year, then my other daughter starts. That's really cool, Daniel.
Yeah.
Proud of you and your family. All right. So let's wrap this thing up, guys. We've talked news. We've talked about the topics the mafioso our family wanted to talk about. How do we want to finish this show? Moen, what's your first thought?
First day of Big Ten Media Days, Tony Petita came out and set the record straight on what you need to do to become a conference member and what values are important. Academic, football success. In that order, people. Academics, football success. In that order. So to anybody out there who's looking to become a Big Ten member, get those academic rankings up, start winning on the football field. Florida State needs to work on the academics. Miami, you need to start winning. So,
What about you?
Yeah, well said, Moen. Exactly. On the Big 12 side, it's about data and eyeballs and money making and who can drive the best valuations. The Big 12 isn't in the luxury position of just focusing on academics when they're trying to catch the Power 2. So the focus right now is just eyeballs. So it's a different focus, different strategy for the Big 12. But the Big 10, Mo nailed it, 100%.
Immaculate's coming in off the top rope saying in that order.
in that order.
You heard Moen. You heard him say
Academics, football.
Academics, football. Or we'll take you at half rate and now we're
Well, that's
Florida.
true. Yeah, if you're going to
Oh,
offer,
yeah.
There are exceptions to that every rule.
Or Notre Dame,
Yeah,
whatever
good
Notre
point.
Dame does. Screw it. Just add Notre Dame.
Immaculate, it's great to see you. Thanks for being here. While we're signing off, I apologize about that. Let me get a couple more shout outs. Bob Swinger says, great show, guys. Jason Spangler says, great show as always, fellas. Until next time. I just want to talk about next time. We haven't decided if we're going to do a show tomorrow. I'm kind of leaning on not doing a show tomorrow. But if the news breaks, something happens in the ACC or the Big Ten, I will definitely do a drop-in show. So just so everybody knows the schedule, we're not going to plan a formal show for tomorrow, but watch Twitter, make sure you're following all of us, and also on YouTube, subscribe, then you'll know when our next show is. Okay? If we don't do that, Friday night is our big freaking Friday show. Moen, what goes on in that show?
We drink, we cuss, we throw pool balls at the jukebox. We order some KFC and raise hell in general.
Big freaking Friday for a reason. That's where we're at. And I think that's it. So that's Friday night, 7 Eastern. It'll be us and a cast of characters. We have a lot of fun. Appreciate all the new members tonight. The gifted memberships, Ricky. Yep. Sergeant Pickles has been a member for 12 months, Ute. When you and I had that first Twitter conversation, did you imagine we'd be here a year later like this?
It's awesome.
It is. It's incredible. I actually knew I was going to be here, so no question there. Let's see. Erica is a new member. Thank you so much, Erica. I want to do a super shout out again for Vox Scandaro. $100 super chat. We appreciate you. Let's get a couple Jayhawks in there. There we go. I love it.
Love the Jayhawks.
Coy setting in after 6 months, and then we'll finish with Jen again for a $2 super chat. Appreciate everybody tonight.
Thank you all.
If you've been drinking, do not drive. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow us all on Twitter. Turn on those notifications, and then really get into being part of the Mafia family. So I'm going to sign off. You, Moen, we'll check out of here. Okay, we'll see you later. Bye, everybody. Have a safe night.